Hello everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. This month is totally awesome, right? And you guys say why? It is Literacy and Women's Month. I'm so excited. Because as you guys know, or if you didn't know, my name is Cynthia Manuel. I am the founder of Heavenly Cynt Youth Mentoring Organization. I am also now an author. An author. So I have a book that's called Cindy the Cowgirl Teaches Kindness. And as you guys may know or have seen, I do the Cindy the Cowgirl mascot. And so with the book that's now in the Oak Park Library. So if you guys can't afford it, go to the library, rent it out, read it, do the pledge, come back and be a part of our amazing up and coming activities that we have, right? And so I'm also a community activist, committed to empowering youth, exposing them to different, creating safe spaces, promoting kindness, and like I just made mention, the literacy tour. And what that is every month I plan to do something real big with the kids. Again, like I said, with my book, Cindy the Cowgirl Teaches Kindness, want the kids to be able to read that book verbatim. There's also a pledge that says what does the pledge say, Sabrina? You remember? I promise to be kind, helpful, and some other things, right? Respectful, thank you. To everybody, right? And so I'm taking this tour. I want to go any and everywhere there are kids. And you know what? I realize that adults need to be taught kindness if they're not already implementing it. So I'm so excited that I'll be going to Alderman Monique Scott's office tomorrow, spreading kindness with my cowgirl, Michael Scott Jr., Commissioner Jeanette Taylor, and Lakeisha Collins, Senator Lakeisha Collins. I'll be going to their office spreading kindness. And so anybody else that want to hop on this train, please give me a call. You guys can reach me at Heavenly Cynt Youth on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just want to, at such a time we need kindness, right? And so I just want to pop in, pop out with the mascot and put some smiles and on some people's faces and give them a hug. And also, I got something coming up. I'm going to let you guys in on that. This month is March. Next month is April. And so I have my second book. As you guys also know, I am the ambassador of the Friendly Officer mascot. I originally started with that one. And so I'm combining the two together. And the book is going to be Cindy the Cowgirl Meets the Friendly Officer, right? And so with that, we're bridging the gap because so many kids and adults think that all cops are bad. And so we're here to let you guys know that that's not the case. And so again, spreading kindness, spreading love, getting smiles out, and all the other good things. So with that being said, this young lady to my right is no stranger, right? I'm honored to introduce retired Officer Sabrina King. She's a phenomenal woman, you guys. She is the person not behind the mascot, but she is the person of the Friendly Officer mascot. That's her, Officer King. And so she has been a blessing to Heavenly Cynt Youth. We've joined forces and have been tapping into areas. I'm the west side, she's the south side, so also bridging that gap with the south side and the west side. And like I just made mention, a retired cop. And so the cool thing about when I first met Sabrina was she was out of uniform and she was bringing some of her other co-workers around, and we had no clue that they were officers until one day we went to an event and they had their uniform on. The kids was like, Miss Cynthia, that's 12, we don't mess with 12. And so it was so funny. And so I thank her for bridging that gap with the I thank her for bridging that gap also with my son. And so now our group, understands and knows that the cops are good people, right? Contrary to what they put out there. And so Officer King, she represents strength, purpose, power. She's so supportive. She's definitely in the community. And so with further ado, I'd like to introduce retired Officer King, the Friendly mascot.
Thank you. Well, thank you. Well, first of all, I just want to say because it's Women's Month and
literacy.
And literacy. I just want to honor you on today for all the great things that you do. You are history. You know, you're young, entrepreneur, doing some, I mean, what is that saying? A jack of all trades? But you a master of all of them.
Well,
okay? So we want to honor you on today because of the things that you do in the community and for so many people, not even just the people in the community, but for your family. And that means a lot. And I want to kind of touch on that a little bit, if you would just allow me to. Please. On today. So as Miss Cynthia mentioned, I'm Sabrina King, retired police officer, almost made 24 years. But it was an honor and a pleasure of being on the force. It was a great experience. I worked in the community with seniors and youth. And I have my own organization, which is Love Teaching Youth. And I've been in existence since 2005. And of course, my heart goes out to the youth and to our seniors. And especially the youth being, because of this society and the things that's going on. But on today, I want to just do something a little bit special. I want to honor our grandparents because they are history and they have made history. Even those who have gone on, God rest their soul, they was an intricate part of my life, my grandmother and my mother's grandmother and your grandmother, who's a lovely lady, and so many grandmothers that I know. So, I just want to talk about that a little. And as I mentioned, being a part of and being the CEO and president of Love Teaching Youth, we service underprivileged youth, but we also service seniors in and out of the community. I mean, like all over the city of Chicago, and we're doing so many great things. And what we're doing special is that we're partnering and we're connecting our youth with our seniors because they are special and they are history. And I just want to talk a little bit about how important they are because I can remember when my grandmother used to travel to Chicago. She's from Memphis, Tennessee. She was raised and born in Roseville, Tennessee, Shelby County. I know all of this because I would sit and just ask her so many questions. And I'm just so glad I had a great bond with my grandmother. And she would talk about, picking the cotton and the different traumas she went through and the different things that happened to her. And my heart just melted. And I was not even more than 8, 9 years old when I had that great bond with my grandmother. And the sad part today is so many grandmothers who are taking care of their grandchildren. Statistic-wise, and some of y'all probably don't even know, 2.1 million, 2.1 to 2.4 million grandmothers are caregivers here in the United States. And half of those grandparents are taking care of their grandchildren, those that 18 and under, statistic-wise. And can you believe a lot of these young kids don't honor them? And my mother always say, you honor your parents, even your grandparents. If these are your guardians, these are the people that you're supposed to honor and cherish because they have so much love for us. They just, they have the support that we need.
And it's biblical.
It is. It is. And our grandparents, again, the trauma that they went through, you wouldn't believe that the kids this day and time, the things that they say and do to their grandparents, our grandparents would be rolling over in their graves to know that they're doing certain things that they're doing. Because as I mentioned, because so many grandparents are taking care of their grandchildren, the parents are not in their lives, or the parents may be just having to work and the grandparents are taking care of them. A lot of these grandparents, they didn't know anything about computers or, a lot of different things that's going on that exist right now. And the good thing that we do is we service them. We give them educational support. We teach them about trauma, mental health issues, elder abuse. These are some of the great things that we do for the grandparents.
That's so exciting. Let me ask you this. Do you have anything coming up?
Yes. Matter of fact, we have something coming up this coming Saturday.
Okay.
It's a senior fun fair. What is that? Every year in March, we're honoring our seniors. And not just in March, because all year we're doing something great. We're doing, with our seniors, we're doing line dancing. They're doing pickleball. They're doing swimming, aerobics, just what things that, you may not think they're doing or capable of doing. These ladies are line dancing. They dancing better than me. We take them bowling. We take them to shows. We're doing some exciting things just to keep their mind going because, again, our idle mind is what?
Devil's Workshop. Wait a minute. You said line dancing.
Yeah, line dancing. Wow. But this coming Saturday, as I mentioned, it's going to be a senior fun fair where we're going to have entertainment for them. They love entertainment. We're going to have food. They love to eat. We're going to have massages. We're going to just we're giving away a lot of great gifts. They love free stuff. They love gifts. So I love to give back because my grandmother, she instilled so many great things in me. And I just have that compassion.
You know what? I'm sitting here thinking about, as you're talking about grandparents. And so my grandmother was born in 1942. Y'all do the math. Whoa. And so I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to interview her and my mother right here in these very seats. And so as you're talking, I'm thinking about that and thinking about, like you may mention, some of the struggles that they've had to endure back in the day and how, grandkids look over and don't assist. And so just on today, I was at the dollar store and I was purchasing some items and there was a senior who was standing midway in the door and she had her shopping cart and she had a cane. And so she was asking the cashier if the buggy could go outside. Mm-hmm. And he said no. And she said, well, I have a cane and I can't carry these 2 bags. And I have multiple sclerosis. And so when she said that, I turned to her and I said, if you give me 30 seconds, as soon as he ring me up, I'll carry all of your bags to the car. And prior to walking with her, she was so grateful. And she was like, oh, you're going to carry all my bags? I suffer from multiple sclerosis. And I was like, the pleasure is mine to be able to service somebody as yourself. It's a no-brainer. My grandmother, I look after my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother, like I said, was born in 42, and she just had a major hip surgery. And I've been there every step of the way and will continue to be there. And so I just, it just melts my heart when I hear about people giving back and trying to be a blessing to seniors, Sabrina, because think about it. We don't like to sit in the house. So you honestly think that seniors want to sit in the house all day watching TV and, and just sitting around? Of course not. So I tilt my head to you and I thank God for our partnership because you do a lot of the stuff that I don't do. And we put it all together. It's that big of a reach. And so that's awesome. And so as she may mention, Sabrina have all kind of stuff for them. I enjoy line dancing with them seniors. And I promise y'all, they dance better than some of us, and they twist and they turn and know all the dances. And so it's a really good time and they appreciate that and the smiling faces. And I love to service. And with that being said, Sabrina, as you were talking, I was thinking, so the next time you have an event for seniors, can you please give me at least a 2-3 week notice? Because what I want to do is I want to get some mail. I want to get some males, have them dress up in suits and have them service the seniors. Oh. And so, yeah, I want to do that. Yep, I can do that.
This coming Saturday, as I mentioned, we're going to have over 30 youth. They're going to be servicing seniors. They're going to be interacting with the seniors. They're going to be talking to the seniors. And when they start line dancing, they're going to line dance with the seniors. They're going to sit down and eat with the seniors. See, this is what's missing. If you notice, even at home with your kids, what are they doing? on their phone,
In the
or
room playing
there's
the
no
game.
interaction anymore.
Playing the game.
Even when it's time to eat, where they at? In the room. Or so we want to build a bond. We want to build that partnership. We want to have that connect where
it.
these kids can literally connect, act, perform maybe, and do some great things with the seniors, because again, they get lonely. You know, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. They're in their rooms, or in the, you know, if they live at a senior building, you know, their grandkids or whoever, their kinfolk are not coming to visit them.
That's awful.
And this is why I put it in my heart to make sure they stay active and they stay full of life. Because if you're just sitting in a room all day, every day, like you mentioned, things you don't use, you'll lose.
That's true.
So we want to keep them active, keep them going places, keeping their mind together, and keeping them on point.
You know what? So when my grandmother was in the therapy home she was in, and I would walk past some of those rooms, and some of those seniors would be laid in the bed, and, you know, someone would be sitting in a wheelchair partially in the hallway. And I would walk past every room and say good morning or whatever such, and they would just light up. And upon talking to some of the medical assistants, they was like, some of these seniors don't get any visitors, you know. And I remember this one lady who every time I would go, she would ask me if could I get her a soda. And so I didn't get it because I didn't know her medical condition, or, you know, whatever. But they said that long ago that the one person that would come see her would always would buy her a pop. And that person hadn't been there in 2-3 years. And so I was like, wow. And so I asked them, you know, is it okay if and so I think for her, the connection was, what do you call it? When you interact with people, I think it probably brought something back in her memory, you know. And so I'm just lost. Wow. Because the stuff that I was seeing at that facility with those seniors was heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, how could you not, or put your loved one away and not go
and visit them?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Yeah, that was overly emotional for me.
I'm sure it was. And it just warmed my heart to see them smiling. And I was just at an event a few days ago, Dance for Fitness, Dancing Mary, who she was an instructor. And I'm going to just be honest, I gave them maybe 5 dances in a row, and I've just had surgery on my knees. But it was women in there that came in there with canes, and they danced for like a whole hour, and I really couldn't keep up. And it just warmed my heart to see how happy they were and how they were moving. And it just encouraged me. I'm like, I gotta get myself together, because if they can do it, I can do it.
I said the same thing.
It was awesome.
In the morning when I'm on my way to work, there's about 5 or 6 seniors that I see walking along the path every morning, 6:30, and I'm like, wow. Like you just said, it's like, you know what? If they can make that sacrifice at their age and get up at 6:30, I mean, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What excuse? Yes. Why we keep making these excuses? So Sabrina, with that being said, so you spoke on the seniors. So the youth, what kind of things have you been doing with the youth, and where have you been reaching these youth?
Okay, well, we just, every month, we're trying to do something different or something special, because most of the kids, you know, they know basketball. They know the basketball, but we're trying to do things differently. And we're preparing them for the summer, because it's going to be probably a little rougher and a little tougher in the communities. So what we're planning to do, well, we always trying to give them some type of topic. February was Love Month, teen dating violence. January was more so, it was, of course, Martin Luther King, Know Your Heritage. A lot of kids that we deal with, You know, they hear about Martin Luther King, but they couldn't give us a paragraph. We just threw it out there real quick.
Or even make mention of anything that he's done. Same with Jesse Jackson Jr.
They couldn't.
I mean, Senior. I'm sorry. I was so surprised that people that our kids didn't know who Jesse Jackson Senior was. And like she's made mention, you know, during February we asked even some of the people Black History facts. The kids couldn't tell us about anybody, and I'm like, really?
And when you talk about a Nobel Peace, I mean, they're, you know, I'm wondering what's going on in the schools. You know, they didn't get a lot of Black history.
They're trying to erase our history.
And they're trying to take our history away. But
That's
guess
exactly
what?
what it is.
Every day is going to be Black. Every month is going to be Black History Month. And they couldn't tell us a whole lot about Jesse Jackson. So, Reverend Jesse Jackson. And so these are some of the things that we're going to put together for April. And we're going to talk about our heritage. And we're going to talk about our culture. These are the things that we are going to be doing for the month of April. So every month we try to do something a little bit special. So for April,
and
that's
I think
what we're going to do.
What makes us so different, Sabrina, is that we try to expose kids to different, right? Like we understand that some parents don't have the resources or the knowledge or even the education, the upbringing, so on and so forth. And so it's no fault to the children. And so what we have created, what we've done was created this curriculum to whereas we could expose kids to difference. See, I got this motto, it's hard for a kid to see. No, I'm sorry, it's hard for a kid to dream what they can't see, right? And so like for instance, we have calligraphy in our curriculum. They've stopped cursive writing many moons
Years
ago. A
ago.
lot of people don't even know that, right? And so life skills, table etiquette. Kids aren't taught table etiquette at school. They're not taught finance at school. And so all these things that we come up with are just things that we know that the kids need. For instance, cursive writing. You have to sign your check, any important document. As the kids grow older, they'll need to use calligraphy, right? Table etiquette. At some point, they'll get older and go out on fancy dinners, and they'll know how to, you know, use the proper utensils. Life skills. We got this thing where it's a must that the kids, when they enter, they speak, and when they don't, we go back out, right? And so they're like, what? Go back out, try it again. The kids be like, you're supposed to speak. And so even as adults, you know, it's funny because you got adults that don't practice, what do you call it, manners. You know, walk in a room and look at you up and down. And I'm like, you know, who taught y'all? Who raised y'all?
But something has happened because I know when we were coming up, when you get up in the morning, good morning.
Yeah.
And you didn't shut doors in the house. You know, until you an adult and ready to get out of the house, and now get away from my door. And these are
Shut up
things
talking
that,
to me.
Mom, would you shut up?
I ain't doing nothing.
We would have had a shoe in our mouth, or just things you never would dream of are some of the things that the kids are doing now. And that's why we also are starting up back on Saturday mornings. We're starting with the 7 to 13-year-olds because we want to catch them. Because I tell you, a lot of these little 10-year-olds, they're gone already. So we're trying to catch them again at the ages of 6 to 13 years old. Working with the kids, giving them that 1 hour of classroom where it's going to be a curriculum, and then they'll have 45 minutes of a sport, a different sport, not just basketball, not just soccer, not just football, or it's different other sports. We got tennis courts out there. We're going to do some tennis. Get back to track.
We've even taken the kids fishing, Sabrina.
Yes.
Fishing. Bowling, volleyball, racquetball, what else? Golf.
Yeah.
Canoeing. I mean, we do it all. Anything a kid think they
riding.
want. Yep.
Kids, they never rode
Anything
a horse.
a kid think they want to do, we have a resource for it. Case in point, I almost in my last semester of trade school. So of course they took trades out of school, right? We believe that every kid should know how to do something with their hand, whether it's barbering, cosmetology, what else?
Cooking, you know,
Culinary. It's these trades aren't going anywhere. Case in
wood
point.
shop.
Yeah,
this
wood
is
shop.
stuff
Yep.
that was taken out of our schools. You know, they still in the North Side schools, but a lot of our schools, we don't have that anymore.
So I've taken the I'm taking trade. I'm doing trades. I'm sorry. I've done plumbing. I did drywall. I am now at the electrical part, and so after that it will be carpentry. And so I'm doing these trades because we are going to do a workshop and and teach these kids the knowledge that I've picked up, so they can be able to explore or try different field. Like she said, we don't just do basketball and the common sport, which is football. We do everything because we believe that every kid should have an A, B, and a C. So in the event that basketball don't work out, what's your B? Okay, soccer don't work out, what's your C? Like, we have to get these kids in the mindset of different opportunities. But again, that goes back to my motto. It's hard for a kid to dream what they can't see. So exposure leads to opportunities. So if you're not giving your child or children exposure, they'll be like the rest of these kids. Mama, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, I cringe when I hear parents say, I don't know if they want to do that. How do you know if they never tried it? My son is 18 and he's done a million things, right? And that's because I'm the parent. I tell him, I don't allow him to tell me what he's not going to do because he's my child. Now, I will say, try it. If you don't like it, then that's different. But don't tell me what you don't want to do if you've never tried.
Absolutely. That's great. And so that's why we want to just continue to work with our youth, of course. But again, our seniors are important. And this coming Saturday, again, Sherman Park, 1301 West on 52nd Street. Any and every senior is invited. It's free. It's going to be great. And we're partnering with our some of our high school and grammar school kids are going to be there to assist our seniors from 12 to 4.
12 to 4.
It's going to be awesome.
Where is it?
At Sherman Park. Okay. Sherman Park, 1301 West on 52nd Street. So please come on out. Me and Dr. Sonia Watts is going to spear this. And then Cindy, the cowgirl, may come on in.
Or the friendly mascot.
Or the friendly.
No,
friendly officer.
So wait a minute. I heard you mention everything, but are y'all gonna have food?
Of course, I did. I said free food.
I'm sorry, I missed
the seniors
that part.
love food. I said that in the beginning.
Because
we gotta have
food. Be hungry.
And free giveaways, nice stuff for the seniors.
So with that being said, thank you, Sabrina, for taking time out to talk to my people. My show is called Heavenly Sent People You Should Know, and you're definitely somebody that my people should know. Thank you to all of my viewers. Thank you, CAN TV, for allowing me to have this platform to be able to bring on amazing people like yourself, Sabrina. I want to thank God for my mother, my son, who has been so instrumental in my life and has been supporting me, and all my supporters, parents, and kids that are a part of our organization.
And I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and to all my seniors and all of those that are special to me in my life that's been a part in supporting me. I really appreciate it. It's so many people. So I'm just so grateful to God, who is the head of my life and who continues to bless me with all that I have and all that I do.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
Of course. See you guys next month, same time. Heavenly Sent People You Should Know.